If you're a reseller or trying to resell, but you don't have a lot of space or a lot of money to invest, this video is for you. Today, we're talking about selling smalls on eBay. What I'm going to show you is the kind of items that are easy to store, quick to ship, but still make you good money. As a sneak peek, I'm talking about playing cards, watches, jewelry, collectibles, maybe some small electronics, basically anything you can throw in a junk drawer but still flips for a good profit. The value that you're gonna get from this video is my overarching ideas or thought process of why I buy these things, how much I pay for them, where did I buy them, who's my target market, things of the sort, so you can understand more deeply how to resell versus just getting a bolo list and looking for certain items. According to a lot of comments on a ton of videos that I've looked at on YouTube, a lot of people just want a bolo list. Tell me what to buy, tell me where to buy it. That is not a good way to learn because you're not learning the process. You're just learning buy this, buy that. What if those items go away? What do you do then? This is why I make videos like this, so you can understand things better, so you can understand things, again, more deeply. And all these sales are coming from my eBay Everything store, Resellutions, so you can see actual numbers. I'm not just gonna go and search for solds, just so I can make a video and so I can talk about stuff. I wanna give you real information that I am making money on. So if you're reselling now or trying to resell, but you don't want to take up your entire garage, you don't wanna take up the extra bedroom, or don't wanna take up part of your kitchen, this video is for you. So stay until the end so you can see all of the sales and see what is possible for you. So let's get to it because Resellutions gives you real solutions. All right, let's go to the back end so I can show you some sales. We're gonna get the party started with my favorite item to sell, watches or timepieces. And I'm talking about all kinds of stuff, grandfather clocks, wall clocks, maybe mantle clocks. But a lot of the times I focus on watches because they're wearable and they're nice and I love them. So here we go. We're starting with Skagen men's watch. This is a 36 millimeter dial. That means that from here to here, so the face is 36 millimeters wide. This is a Danish brand. And if you notice, what do you notice about this? It's very basic. It doesn't have a lot of hoopla. It doesn't have extra hands. It tells time. It's very simple. The reason I buy watches like this is because minimalism is a huge deal right now. And it's becoming bigger and bigger, the movement, meaning people don't want to have a lot of stuff anymore. They don't have to have everything really gaudy. It doesn't have to be gold and bejeweled and all that. Especially, I know a lot of men that like and prefer to wear stuff like this because it's more basic. It's clean, it's classic, and it's classy. So I bought this for $72.50 and sold for $135, free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $118.02. I haven't shipped this yet, so let's just assume that it's going to ship for $5. So that's $113, and I paid $72. Let's assume I'm going to make about $40 in profit. I know that a lot of you are thinking, well, it's $72 and you said I don't need a lot of money. Okay, well, I wanted to show this anyways because this is retail arbitrage. That means that I can honestly always replenish this. And $72 really isn't that much money when you're getting back $40 in profit. I know that a lot of you only thrift and you want to spend $2 or $3 per item. That's fine too. But I want to show you what is possible for you, so that you don't close yourself off to just thrift stores or just garage sales or just flea markets and things of the sort. I love this watch. And again, I buy this because it's so classy and so clean. Next one, here we go. I got this at an estate sale. This is a Fossil vintage watch. I knew this was going to sell real fast because of the face. Look at that. It's a gorgeous face. Who is the target market right here? The girl that wants to look simple, maybe have a boho look, something around those lines, that is who's going to buy it. I bought this for 50 cents. And if you notice, it says new battery DR2100. So DR2100 is just the model of the watch, but I do put new battery when I change out the batteries because I always change out the batteries because that right there is a great selling point. Nobody wants to switch out their own battery or go somewhere to switch it out. Normally, you have to pay anywhere from $10 to $20, and on average, it's about $20 to switch out a battery. The batteries that I buy, they only cost me about, I think, $1.50 maybe because I'm buying them in bulk, and then I'm switching them out. And you know what? It values up the product so much that people want to buy it. So here you go. $29.97 free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $18.77. So $18.50 or $18.25 in profit. That is an excellent margin. And I bought a bunch of these for 50 cents each. Now, most of you or some of you might be thinking, well, $15 isn't that much. Okay, fine. Well, first off, I enjoy messing with watches, so that's just going to be my thing. I can do it real quick. I can change out the battery. That's no problem. And I'm getting a lot of my money back. Plus, I'm turning 50 cents into 15 bucks. That right there for me is just excellent. So this is why I buy things like this. And Fosso as a brand, it is highly collectible. Next, right here, we have Geneva Elite Cuff Watch Women's Silver Gold Tone. This looks like the Versace logo. It's not Versace, it's Geneva. But it looks like that logo. And I bought this for 50 cents. Also, I put a new battery in. Sold for 25 bucks free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $15.38. So let's just call it $15 in profit. Both of these, I got them for 50 cents at the same place. And I made $15 in profit. So who's your target market right here? This one would be somebody that is a little more gaudy, a little more, I don't know, maybe it's for like date night because it's a little flashier. And it is a cuff watch. So there is no, you just open it. It opens with a spring and it closes on your wrist. So the only thing that I would say is that you have to be careful because sometimes this won't fit everybody. It's not a one size fits all because it's just not. Some women have really thick wrists, so it won't fit. So you got to be careful to make sure that it's not really, really tiny, really, really small. It's supposed to be one size, but it's not. And I've dealt with that before. Next, here we have Gossip Quartz Watch. Okay, so I bought a bunch of these for $5 each, and they're all brand new in box. Look at these. These sold, or this one sold for $25 free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $16.73. So $11.73 in profit. Again, watches make money. This one would sell to somebody, first off, that likes turquoise, and second off, that likes that print on the band. It is a leather band, and this Gossip watch, it's not the best watch in the world. But what I wanted to show, or I wanted to show you these because not everything has to be Rolex. Not everything has to be the best brand. Some people buy fashion jewelry because, maybe they're not into watches, but they need something to go with their outfit. And they buy a watch that's 25 bucks. That's fine. They'll wear it a couple of times, and if it goes bad, it goes bad. It's fine. They're not investing hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. I prefer to do that because I love watches, but some people don't. Now let's take a hard left turn here and let's go. Well, maybe not a hard left turn because this is technically still jewelry. You can consider watches jewelry, but this is a big chunky statement necklace. Somebody, when I was there at the place where I bought this, somebody told me, well, those are not marked. They don't have a brand, so they would never sell. No, that is completely wrong. They still sell. You just have to know what people are looking for, what keywords are searching for, and it's got to look nice. Right here, it's sold because it says chunky statement necklace. That is a thing. And of course, it's burgundy, and you can see the rest of it, and it's geometric 19-inch, so it's kind of big, which is great. It looks awesome when it's on. So I bought this for $2, sold for $27 free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $23.04, so $21 in profit. Look at that. And those people that were there that told me, well, that's not going to sell because it's unbranded. Well, you know what? They lost out because they liked it, but they didn't want to buy it because they think that everything has to have a brand. No, that's not the case. Some people, let's just say how most people doom scroll, through Instagram with the politics and all the other crap. Well, some people do the same, but on Amazon, on eBay, on Mercari, and they look for stuff to buy. When they're in bed, they're just searching through things. So if they just put in chunky statement necklace and then they go through them, and if yours is the one that stands out, well, there you go. You win. And by the way, this black thing right here, I got at Hobby Lobby so that I can take nicer pictures on it. And it didn't cost me much. It was like $6 or $7. So I suggest you get something like this if you're doing necklaces a lot because it makes a huge deal. It looks way better. Next, here we have vintage floral brooch, rose colored color resin. So when I saw this, I was like, oh man, it looks pretty. Again, it was unbranded, but I knew somebody was going to buy it. My girl saw it too, and she said, well, it's not going to sell fast, but it will sell. I bought this for $1, sold for $19.99 free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $11.63. So I turned $1 into $11.63 in profit. That for me, that's just insane, man. 10x your money, I'll take it every day. Now, this right here is super tiny. Again, we're talking about smalls, right? So you can buy a whole bunch of brooches and put them in a little plastic box. I mean, seriously. And these things, usually you can find them everywhere at estate sales, at thrift stores, at Goodwill, at garage sales, at the flea market, anywhere, because there's so much of it. Now, is it going to be a very fast mover? No, because there's so much of it. But it does move. And if you know how to properly make a title that people are looking for that is highly optimized, people will buy it. And by the way, this title was made by my AI assistant named Bruce. Bruce is right here in the back and behind me. You guys can't see him right now because of the camera, but he's right here behind me. It's an AI that I made for ChatGPT. If you guys want to use it, all you have to do is sign up down below with the join button as a top tier Posse member, and I'll give you access to him because it does help you make better listings, better descriptions, and it's helping me make a lot more money. And if you don't believe me, ask any of the Posse members that are enrolled, and they've been using it for a long time. And a lot of them tell me that they have a big increase in sales once Bruce gets a hold of their listings. Next, here we go. Scottish Terrier Dog Charm. This is a nice one. So this was 925 silver, an actual silver, right? Anything dogs is going to sell. First off, I am a dog lover, so I would buy something like this for my girl. And I knew that it was going to be nice, and she actually wanted to keep it. And I said, no, at a certain point, we got to stop keeping stuff and we got to make money, right? So I bought this for $7, sold for $30, free shipping after fees and everything. I brought it home, $21.35. So what is that? $14 in profit. $14 in profit right there. Now, silver does move a little faster than almost anything else, even if it's unbranded, because just considering the fact that it's 925 silver. So whenever you see silver, just make sure you get it cheap enough and it will sell. And look at that. The little bone, the Scotty, I think, yeah, it looks like a Scotty, a Scottish Terrier. The dog bowl, and I love my dog, and so on. I love it. This is a great bracelet. That would be a great gift for somebody. Now we're really going to take a hard left turn, and this is a collectible. So check this out. Britain's LTD lead farm figure stable boy cat vest blue vintage 132 scale. Always remember to put in the scale because people are building, sometimes they're building like little towns or villages, right? And it has to be the scale. You can't have a big ass dog that's bigger than all the humans. Like, it wouldn't make sense. So you gotta put the scale in. So this is 132 scale, and then I did also 2.25 inch because they need to know, how big it is. Okay, I got this. It says $0, but because somebody gave me a pack of stuff and they had a whole bunch of toys, and this one was at the bottom, and they didn't think it was worth anything. I said, nah, man, lead toys, especially from Britain, always make money. And check this out. Sold for $29.99 free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $20.07. That's $20 in that little tiny little thing like that. It's so small, very easy to ship, and you don't have to do anything to it. In fact, I recommend you don't do anything to it. People want the patina. For those of you that are unaware, patina is like the look, something that is worn, that looks like it's worn. It's fine. It's okay. People want it to look like that because it is vintage. It's old. They don't want it to look new. They don't want it repainted. Some people do, but let them do that. Don't do it yourself. Keeping with the same theme, look at these. Britain's LTD, again, they were at the bottom of the box. Lot of 4, $0. That's why it says $0 right there. 1973 to 1986, because they were labeled at the bottom. And I had to just put a range because some people are looking for a certain year. And it's like, well, I'm not going to sell them separate. So I just put them all together because these sell better together rather than separate. And then look at that. Sold for $24.99 free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $15.37 off of 4 figurines that somebody gave me. These are super cool. Don't skip on this brand, Britain's LTD. They are awesome. You just have to be careful because these are leaded. So a lot of the times you can bend them quickly and you can break them. So just please be careful when you are handling them. Now let's move on to another different category that most people always skip when they're at estate sales or thrift stores and stuff like that because, they're just playing cards. They don't make any money, right? They're just playing cards. Well, actually, it depends on the playing card. So look at this. This is BMGM Grand Casino playing cards. It is used, but it's unsealed. That means that They were used at the casino. The casino then gets rid of them from the rotation. They package them up and they seal them, and then locally they sell them, which is freaking smart because instead of throwing them away, you get to make money. I bought this for 25 cents, sold for $14.97, free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $6.40. So about, let's just call it $6.15 in profit. Okay, that's not a lot of profit. I get it. That's the first thing that people tell me. That's not a lot of profit. I get it. That's fine. But this takes me zero time to list. It's so fast, especially using Bruce. It doesn't take any space because I have a whole bunch of cards in like a bin that I collect all the time. Plus, I just love cards. Think about it this way. If it doesn't sell, you pay 25 cents. People come over, just go grab it from your store and use it for yourself. That is also a secondary thing that you can do, right? But people that collect or guys that want to have, guys night and they want to have poker night with all their friends, all the dudes come over and you want to have poker night. There you go. You buy official cards and now you can be like, hey, bro, these were played in these were played in or used in Vegas. Let's use them. They're the B cards. And they're like, oh shit, and you get to have a good time. I love cards. And speaking of cards, look at this one. Fournier. I think that's how you say it. Fournier. If I'm not saying it right, somebody correct me in the comments. Carton von Spiel, Russian poker playing cards. So these are vintage. I bought them for $1. Look at this. And this is 2 sets or 2 decks. Sold for $25 free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $13.36, so $12.36 in profit. I knew these were going to sell because because of the look, and they were Russian playing cards. Plus, there's 2 decks in there. I think these say España, and I don't know why. I'm assuming they made them in España, but they have the Russian look. I don't remember a lot about these, but I enjoy playing cards. And again, the person that is going to use them, or the people that collect, or people that just like to, maybe they like to use these for scrapbooking. That's also a thing that people do. So just think outside of the box other than just using them for cards. A lot of times items aren't used for their intended use. They're used for other things. So be mindful of that, and you can put it in the description or the title and sell it to a different market. Maybe you could be the only one. So you have to be where no one is so that you can sell it faster. Think about it that way. This is the last set of cards. Look at that. Those are 3 sets. Vintage Congress bridge cards. First off, Congress is a big brand that's been around for a long time. These are bridge cards, and they are gorgeous. The person that bought them did reach out because they're collectors, and they said, hey, are all of them there? And I said, yeah, we counted them. We always count them to make sure that they're all there. 50 cents each. So I'm in it for $1.50. Sold for $29.97, free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $13.96. These I had to ship in a padded, not in a padded, a flat rate hard or a flat rate envelope for a specific reason, because there was an issue with timing and I don't know what happened. So I said, you know what? No problem. I'm just going to ship them out to you. So normally you pay less for this, although they are heavy, but I would normally pay about $6 to ship, but that's okay. In any case, I brought home $13.96 minus $1.50. So what is that? $12.50. Let's just call it $12.50 in profit for those cards. They're so pretty, especially the ones with the islands. That looks nice. I wish I was there. Man, I need a vacation. But moving on, let's go to the next one. Dented remote control. Now, these are longer, but they still don't take up a lot of space. If you guys have never stacked up a bunch of remotes, you can put like 20 or 30 remotes in a small ass bin in a very small area. I bought this for $1.50. Denon is a very big brand, by the way. It is a very good brand, and people are always looking for these. Sold for $19.99, free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $11.38. So let's call it $10 in profit. So why would people buy this? Because this is the question that I get. Why would anybody buy my Denon one, Damien? Why would they buy it if they can just go to Walmart and get a universal one? Well, let me put it to you this way. Universal remotes are universal for a reason. They're supposed to hit all kinds of receivers, all kinds of VHS players, DVD players, Blu-rays, and all that. This is specific to that model. So a lot of the times you lose, like it might work and it might use some of the features of your receiver, but it's not going to do everything because it doesn't have certain buttons. It doesn't have certain features because it's not meant for that. It's meant just to basically plug in or plug and play, You just press play, volume up, volume down, some channels, maybe some numbers to punch in, and that's it. So you have to think about it this way. So what are people looking for? They're looking for OEM product as well. Their original product, because they don't want some shitty knockoff from somewhere. They don't want the on-brand from Walmart, although the on-brand is actually pretty good. But they don't want that. They want the official product, and this is why they come to you and buy it. Just make sure you do check them, because, remotes, people spill water in them. There's so many things that can go wrong with them, so make sure that you do check them. Let me show you another one. This is Onkyo. Again, this is a huge brand. It's been around for a long time, and this is an older remote. In fact, I have Onkyo, Yamaha, and Denon in my home because I find it all the time, and I just love to have a good setup for my TVs, for the surround sound, for the speakers and things of the sort. And this is Onkyo. I bought this for $1.50, sold for $19.99 free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $11.50, sold $10 in profit. You can honestly find these all the time. Goodwill, thrift stores in general, at the flea market. There's so many places. You just have to know which ones actually make money. Normally, my rule of thumb is that it's got to be $15 or more that I can sell it for with free shipping. If not, it's not going to be worth my time. So I try to stay $20 and above, but $15 is fine. But if you notice right here, since this one sold for $20, I made $10 in profit. And of course, I got to buy them with under $3. If it's over $3, then the remote has to go above $20. Depending on how much I'm going to make, then that's how much I'm going to invest. Next, here we go. Texas Instruments TI-60X. So this is a good one. I found, look at this, Functions Italy. So this was made in Italy. This is the 60X. I bought it for $1, sold for $34.99 free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $23.38. Calculators do make money. This one is a regular calculator that people need, that kids need, especially for school. College students need for school. So as long as you can get it for cheap and it works, it's fine. And look at that. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the screen, because obviously that's going to show that, it works. Now, you could do, what we used to do when we were younger. For those that remember the 80s and the 90s, we used to write boobs on the calculator with numbers. And I'm not going to show you how, by the way. But Google it. It's fun. For those of you that are younger, for those of you that are older, you probably did the same thing. And if not, don't lie. Next calculator, Texas Instruments TI-30 Vintage Calculator, 1979. This was, look, most people are not going to use that. They're not really going to use it to calculate things, because now we have the phone. We have phones. We have much more advanced ones. But a lot of people do, believe it or not, they collect calculators. This one I bought for $2, sold for $22.99 free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $14.97, so $12.97 in profit. Let's shift gears a little bit. This right here is a belt buckle, a Desi Denver solid brass covered wagon belt buckle. Belt buckles are normally about 2 to 3 inches, sometimes smaller, sometimes a lot larger, but most of them, they're going to be 2 to 3 inches. And again, they take up no space. I bought this for $1. Sold for $19.95 free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $10.15. And by the way, these I ship in a stay flat mailer. For those of you that don't know what that is, a stay flat mailer is basically very hard cardboard, not super hard and heavy, but it's hard enough to where it stays flat. It doesn't bend. Normally, I use it for CDs, DVDs, postcards, stamps, things like that. But you can use it for stuff like this too. I've used it for cufflinks. I've used it for watches. Sometimes it depends on the watch, and it's got to be tiny. But, don't assume that you have to pack it in a box or you have to pack it some kind of way. You have to be mindful of the weight. So therefore, when I bought those stay flat mailers, they saved me a ton of weight. Okay, well, they saved me money on the weight. That's what I meant. Next, here we have Jägermeister Pewter Silver Tone Stag Deer Buck Stirrup Cup Shot Glass. I had to read the whole thing because I remember this was bought at a garage sale. This person had a whole bunch of them, and I sold most of the other ones locally to somebody that I know at a bar. But this one, look, I bought it for 25 cents, sold for $19 free shipping after fees and everything. I brought it home $19.54, so about $9.25 in profit. Not a huge profit, but that's okay. This was just cool, man. I wanted to keep it honestly, but my bar is getting kind of packed, so I said, no, you got to get rid of it. Next, here we have two more and we are done. All right, crystal ball glass sphere, small clear globe. This is MCM. This is from the era. I think it was 50s or 60s. So why would anybody want this? It depends. Some people use it for to do weird shit like that. You know, they do seances or whatever. It's weird to me, by the way. I'm not talking shit. If you want to do that, that's fine. But it's just weird to me. People use it for that, or they use it as a paperweight because it's pretty when you put it on a desk, or they use it to refract light. It doesn't refract like a pyramid, but it's still it does a lot of fun things with light. If you guys haven't tried it, you should try it. I bought this for $2, sold for $25 free shipping. Oh, $25 free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $21.42. So $19.42 in profit. That's a good one. I like the to sell stuff like this because I have it. Like sometimes I leave it back here. I don't even put it away. So I put it in my library, you know, back here where you guys can see. And when it sells, I just get it. I just get it out of there. I actually learned that from my girl because her grandparents made millions of dollars doing vintage sales. They would buy, mostly it was furniture, but they would buy smalls too. And they would live with it. They had big ass vases, grandfather clocks, and their house was constantly changing because they would, you know, say try to sell it either on through photos or they put it up somewhere, right? And they had it in their home, live with it, and then when it was time to go, it was time to go, and they just switched it out. So I thought that was super cool. Last but not least, this is a very cool small. This is one of my replenishable products that I get from Mexico. Skull face red marble stone smoking pipe. For those of you that smoke tobacco or other stuff, here we go. This is a nice pipe. I have this, I think, in 4 or 5 colors. I don't remember. I sold through them pretty quick. I think I have maybe 2 colors left. So I bought this for $3, or I can buy them for $3. Sold for $24.97 after fees and everything. I brought home $16.68, so $13.68 in profit. That is an excellent freaking margin. And again, I can always replenish this. So who is my target market? Anybody that smokes. But I have to say, as when we're talking about pipes, being that it's a skull, it is a very niche. It's a very niche product because most people that smoke from a pipe, they want the old school, you know, cob pipe. They're just a rounded edge. They don't want it to look like a skull because, you know, skulls sometimes have like negative connotation or people think that it's, you know, weird to have it in your home, especially for those that are more religious. And I get it. So you have to be mindful of that when you are selling products like this. And that is it, everybody. Those were the 20 sales from my own personal store when it comes to smalls. I love selling smalls because they take up 0 space. If you guys have never seen any of my other videos, I have a 2-car garage where half of it is taken up with larger products, including clothing and other things. But smalls are usually I put them in my processing room, and there's some drawers. That's it. They take up no space. They're super simple to ship, which is great because sometimes, let's say that you have 30 things to ship for tomorrow, and usually, you know, over the weekend, people don't ship, so they wait till Monday. Say you have 30 or 40 or 50 or 100 items to ship. You know, sometimes you're selling all these big items, and they take you forever to do that, so it might take you the entire day just to ship out your items. What if you could cut that down, you know, by selling smalls? They're so much easier to ship. Also, if you don't have a lot of money, considering that smalls are small, you know, a lot of the times they're going to cost you a lot less. So if you don't have a lot of money to spend up front, to invest up front, I get it. I really do get it. Eventually, you know, you start making more and you start buying more. But at the very beginning, or maybe this is just going to be your thing. Maybe you're a hobby seller and you don't have to make all this money. You know, smalls are the way to go. And that's it. To continue supporting the channel, you can always send your thanks with the thanks button down below. You can buy the Resellutions to add value to the photos you're already taking. Better photos means better sales, plain and simple. And you can become a member of the Resellutions Posse for less than gas station coffee and get access to a whole bunch of videos that no one else has access to. Plus, right now, if you join as a top tier 40 cal member, you get access to Bruce, my AI lister, which helps you make a lot more money because it optimizes titles, descriptions, and you can actually have fun talking to it. As always, give this video a like, share this with anyone that needs to see it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already so you don't miss awesome videos like this. See you in the next one. Peace and cheers, everybody. Woohoo! Man, I miss doing my what sold videos. I do get a lot of requests, but I don't want to bore myself doing the same content over and over again. This is why I don't do that. So if I have an angle, which obviously today is smalls, then I'll do it. But if you guys like videos like this, if you want to see the actual sales so that you can maybe get some ideas of what to buy, let me know in the comments below so that I can start making more again. Ah, you my big dog, my little big fat dog, my big fat dog. You're my big fat dog. Big fat dog. I'm my little babaditos. You can say why they're my little babaditos. Dogs.